constantly tested, tossed into the wild, left to pit his wits and will against nature's fury. It was his initiation, his time in the wild, for he would return to his people a Spartan, or not at all. The wolf begins to circle the boy. Claws of black steel, fur as dark night, eyes glowing red, jewels from the pit of hell itself. The giant wolf, sniffing, savoring the scent of the meal to come. It's not fear that grips him, only a heightened sense of things. The cold air in his lungs. Wind-swept pines moving against the coming night. His hands are steady. His form perfect.
Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Chodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. That's what these lessons are for. Alright, brothers, this lesson is pretty much going to deal with what is customary if a man in his truth becomes suspended. Okay? Now, for example, a man in this truth has done something of great offense, and the judgment came down from, the heads that he is suspended for 6 months. What's customary, man? Okay? That man is out there on his own with no communication for the time period of 6 months. Okay? That's what's customary. You know, a lot of you guys, you're elders, or I should say leaders up over camps. You're in different parts of the world or different states and whatnot. All right? But you really don't have the experience, man. And here it is. You have men that have the experience that you've gotten the advice from. Now you get the advice and let it go in one ear and out the other. The guy is supposed to be suspended. You calling the guy, coddling him, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only. See, some guys only wanted to be on point when Paul was around. Okay? It says, but now much more in my absence. And this is when it really counts, man. Okay? It says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You can't make somebody make it, man. Every man in this truth is supposed to want to be in this truth and desire to be saved, man, for itself, man. Okay? Yes, we are brothers. Okay? We are friends. But the word soldier means solitary. Okay? 2 Timothy 2:3. Thou therefore endure hardness. Okay? Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua, man. This word soldier, it means solitary, man. You are in this thing with a company of men, all right? But guess what? Every man in this truth has to work out his own salvation. Every man in this truth has to build their own personal relationship with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, all right? And you can't, you know what I'm saying, win this man salvation because you like him, okay? You can't get this man, you know what I'm saying, right with the Lord because you like him, man. All right? If a man is suspended for 6 months or 2 months or whatever the judgment came down as, you are not to communicate with him for that time period, man. He's supposed to be left out there for that time period to prove himself to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And at the end of that suspension, you ain't supposed to be reaching out to them. They supposed to be reaching out to you. Hey, brother, so on and so forth. My suspension is over according to the time. I was suspended for 6 months. According to that time, the suspension is over. I'm back here at the camp. All right? You see what I'm saying? You got guys calling guys up. Hey, brother, you coming down to the camp? You want to come down to the camp? You completely going off, man. Even after you got the advice, man. Brothers told you, you know what I'm saying? Look, this is how you handle the situation. You want to go and do something completely contrary, man. See, that's how we know we dealing with Israel, okay? This thing is about trial, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Heavenly Father's always going to test you. Down to the hour of temptation, man. Down to the very last, which that's coming. All right? We know what that is. This is Job 17:7. It says, "What is man, that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him, and that thou shouldest visit him every morning, and try him every moment." Now, what does that word try mean? All right? What does it say? To examine, try, prove, to examine, scrutinize, to test. Okay? You know what I'm saying? You got a guy that the Heavenly Father is testing, and here it is. You got brother. Oh, hey brother, you okay, brother? You all right, brother? Can I do anything to make you feel better, brother? Come on, man. Let that guy go through his test, man. Okay? It says, prove, try, of gold. All right? Which this is heavy because Apostle Tahar had went into this thing, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. After I read these, it says, persons, the heart, man of the Most High. That's right, man. It says to be tried, proved, to make a trial. Okay? So that's what this thing is about. The Heavenly Father tests a man. Job was going through a test. Okay? And we are always going through tests, man. Whether it's to purify you, you know what I'm saying? It's still to be seen. Hey, because when you go back, that 1 Corinthians, what's that, 3? Let me see. This is 1 Corinthians 3. Let me start at 11. It says, "For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahushua." So Yahushua is the foundation, you know what I'm saying? And we all built upon that rock. It says, "Now if any man built upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble." Okay, now gold, silver and precious stones, when you put fire on them, they become pure. They're purified, which these are symbolic to the men that are the elect in this truth. Okay, but then you see wood, hay, and stubble. You have other men that come into this truth that ultimately are going to be destroyed, man. Okay, that ultimately will succumb. All right. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be wood, hay, and stubble. You want to be gold. You want to be that silver. You want to be precious stones. All right. You see what I'm saying? So how could a man, you know what I'm saying, become purified if you're not letting him go through his trial, man? If you're not letting him go through that test that the Heavenly Father's putting on him, man. Okay? You brothers got to learn how to take advice, man. Learn how to take counsel. It says, for every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. So ultimately, the nuclear fire is going to come. And like the Heavenly Father said, he shall bring the third part through the fire, which is twofold. There's going to be certain trials you're going to go through in this truth. And ultimately, when the Heavenly Father comes to tell you what, that the righteous shall scarcely be saved, you're going to be plucked out of the fire. Okay? If you are the elect. You see what I'm saying? So certain things the Heavenly Father bring upon a man to purify him. All right? So let that man go through his purification, man. Let him go through his purification. Let him go through his trial, man. And if he is of the elect, at the end of it, you see what I'm saying? He's gonna be purified, man. This is Proverbs 27:5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Now we all love one another. You know what I'm saying? In this truth, a lot of us, some of you got favorites, so on and so forth, man. And guess what? That don't mean shit to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? The Heavenly Father is dealing with his elect and his elect only. Okay? So if a man becomes suspended, I'll say it again, you are not to communicate with that man for the period of his suspension. Let that man be out there. Okay? Now, whether if he goes out there on his own to teach, you know what I'm saying? If the Spirit's on him to go out there on his own to teach, that's the spirit he's supposed to be in. Okay? And after his suspension, he's supposed to report down to the camp or check in with the head over him and, you know, pretty much humble himself and do what he needs to do to return back to the camp. Okay? You see what I'm saying? And it's that simple, man. Okay? You guys are making things, you know what I'm saying, real complex, man. It's real simple. This is Zechariah 13:9. And Salaki, and I shall bring the third part through the fire. That's talking about the elect. So this is pretty much going into what I read in 1 Corinthians, man. I shall bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined. Now, how is silver refined? It's refined through fire. You know what I'm saying? You put that fire on raw silver, and you have impurities that come up to the top, which is called dross. And once it comes up to the top, you'll skim it off the top, and you'd have a silver bullion or a silver bar or a silver coin, you know what I'm saying, of 99.99 percent purity. Okay? It says, and I will try them as gold is tried. So that's what men are being tried, man. Okay? Hey, and I'm speaking this because I've been suspended. Okay? I've experienced that. Hey, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua came out greater. You know what I'm saying? At the end of it, Lord will, you know what I'm saying, I'm delivered. You see what I'm saying? Going through certain things made me stronger in this truth. All right? So you got to allow a man to go through what he has to go through, you know what I'm saying, to be where the Heavenly Father needs him to be, man. All right? If the guy don't want it, man, you ain't supposed to force him to get it. All right? Like the apostle said, the high priest Yaquab used to say, if a nigga can't get it, we moving on. Hey, man, if a guy can't get it, if you don't want it, man, we don't got to try to make him get it, man. You're supposed to want this thing for yourself, man. It says, It says, they shall call upon my name and I will hear them. I will say, is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is my power. Okay? So that's the type of, you know what I'm saying, spirit, you know what I'm saying, we got to be in, man. Okay? You got to let a guy go through what he got to go through, man. Ain't nothing wrong with praying for the guy, but guess what? If the guy is not a member of the elect, ain't nothing you can do. Now, let me read this. This is 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, and I'm going to go pretty much to the point here. It says, there is also another thing. A city is builded, which is the kingdom, and set upon a broad field, which is the world, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and it is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there was a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the water and even between the fire and the water, so small that there but one man could go there at once. So only one man could go there at once. So you can't help a brother to make it into the kingdom, man. It's either that man is gonna do the things he needs to do to obtain salvation, which salvation is already written. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Salvation is already written. We just playing out what the Heavenly Father already knows the end of. Okay? We the only ones that don't know for certain whether or not we the elect. But the Lord knows whether or not you the elect. And guess what? How does the Lord deal with his men? The Lord puts hell upon his men. Okay? To purify him. You see what I'm saying? It says here, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall pass the danger set before it, he shall receive this inheritance. Salaki, let me read it again. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So you got to go through things in this truth, man. Let a man go through what he has to go through to obtain. It's all according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's will, man. Okay? So if a guy is suspended, just let him be suspended and go through what he needs to go through. If the guy come back, there's hope for him. If he don't come back, then there's no fucking hope for him. Simple as that. Now the reason why I put the of course the 300 scene in the beginning of this video is going into 1 Maccabees 12 and 22, and it pretty much shows you how the Lacedaemonians, as they call it here, or the Spartans as you know it as, were Israelites. It reads here, Arius, king of the Lacedaemonians, to Ananias, the high priest, greeting. It is written in writing, Salaki, it is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren, and that they are of the stock of Abraham. Okay, so when you go into this king here, Arius, the king of the Lacedaemonians, you find out that he is a king, I think about 3 or 4 kings before Leonidas. Okay, so the story of 300, or the movie 300, you know, of course it's a real story, but they were not Edomites, they were Israelites. All right. Also, when you check out this video, it's spiritual. You know, look at the number. When you read it from the right to the left, 144. All right? So everything is spiritual, man. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the elect.